Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exclusive interview on Breaking the Lines. I am Zach Lowy, the co-creator of BTL, here today with Nuno Santos, who joins us from Charlotte, North Carolina. How are you doing today, Nuno?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you.
You are the second Portuguese player that I've had the chance to interview after João Moutinho of Orlando City. Don't know if you have any particular relationship with João or any of the other Portuguese players in MLS, such as Pedro Santos, but I asked João a bit about trying to make a name for himself as a young footballer when you have an elder João Moutinho who has already accomplished so much for club and country. I'm curious, what has it been for you to stand out and make a name for yourself in a country that has about 5 million players named Nuno Santos?
No, it's funny. It's funny because when people in Portugal talk about Nuno Santos, it always come up like the two of us. Um, but yeah, just two different players with the same name. Each one is making their path. So I wish him the best. But I'm trying to put my name out there. So can everybody when everybody says Nuno Santos, it's gotta be me.
You and Nuno competing. Will we get the chance to see you play against the Sporting wingback? Will be interesting to see. You were born in Porto and played for both of the city's major clubs, Porto and Boa Vista, before joining Benfica in 2012 at the age of 13. What was it like to make the move from Porto to Lisbon? And overall, what would you say were the biggest differences between the two cities?
um, I mean, Lisbon is the capital. Is It's a bigger city. It's different. Porto, I think, is more of a kind city. The people are more kind to you. I don't know, more open-minded as well. I like the both of them. But yeah, it was good to go to Benfica as well. Better than the experience that I had in Porto. And it was the club that helped me grow as a person and as a footballer as well.
I had the chance to spend some time in both cities last year, both beautiful, amazing cities. But if you had to pick one, Porto or Lisbon?
That's difficult because obviously my family is all from Porto. I was born there. It's my city, but since I've moved to Lisbon, I don't know. The weather is better, um, close to the beach. The food is also great. I don't know. I just like the vibe of Lisbon more. Although of course I'm from Porto, I love Porto as well. But if I have to choose one city to live, I would choose Lisbon right now, I think.
I agree with you. I would probably go with Lisbon, although I think Porto have better francesinhas.
Yeah.
Got a big game coming up on Friday between Porto and Benfica. I'd imagine that you're rooting for Benfica, although I'm not sure. Overall, what are your expectations going into that match? How excited are you to see that?
I wish it's gonna be. My hope is that it's gonna be a great game, a beautiful game. Although the classics over there, the both clubs playing for the result, not so much for the entertainment. But I wish it's gonna be a game with goals, and in the end, Benfica wins. So
You were part of the Portugal side that reached the U19 Euros final in 2018, playing alongside the likes of Francisco Trincao, Jota, Florentino, Luís, Diogo Costa, so many other talented players, and beating Italy 4-3 in extra time. Talk to me a little bit about this moment. What did you feel like were the biggest keys behind winning the tournament after so many key players like Joao Felix, like Rafael Leao, dropped out prior to the campaign? What did you remember most from that epic final in Finland?
I think the generation of '99 in Portugal is one of the best ever, I would say, because we have so much quality, so much players that can be top players in the future. And the way we were in that European championship was like a family. I don't know. Every day we were there, off and on the pitch. We felt like we were a family, and I think that was the secret. Obviously, with the quality, the individual quality, and then the help of the coach as well. We could do great things in the pitch, but off the pitch we were like brothers, and I think that was the secret.
Apart from a loan spell at Belenenses in 2017, you spent a total of 8 years at Benfica, from 2012 to 2020, developing your craft as a footballer. I had the chance to speak with Simão Sabrosa at Benfica's office last year about their work and their commitment in producing top-class talents. Overall, though, how important was it for you to be able to develop in a state-of-the-art academy like the Seychelles production line? What did you feel like were the biggest things that you learned from your time at the club?
Benfica is the biggest club in Portugal, and to be able to grow as a kid with the conditions that we had in Seychelles was unbelievable. Because if you are growing in a top level, that certainly will help you in the future. You are going to know more about the game. You are going to be more prepared physically as well, mentally as well. And it is one of the best academies in the world. So I'm a privilege. It's a privilege to to be part of the academy of Benfica.
Benfica's academy has produced the likes of João Felix, Bernardo Silva, João Cancelo, but curious, who was the most talented player that you had the chance to play with during your time at Seychelles, as well as your time in Portugal's youth teams?
That's a difficult question. I
You
play
can
with
name a few if you're having a tough time picking.
Yeah, I play with so many talented players over there, but I think I have to say João Felix, because it's a pure talent. It's not something that you work on it. I think it's something that borns with you. And since he joined, I play with him in Porto as well. I think I was 9, 10 years old. I play with him, and then when he joined us in Benfica, he was not um, in his best shape, but you could immediately see his talent, and I have to choose him.
Curious, were there any players who you idolized growing up in Portugal?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I look up to Deco. He was half Brazilian, half Portuguese player. He played for the Portuguese national team as well. I don't know. I think I had the same play style that him. Uh, I watched him when I was little, and I love to watch him play at the time. Uh, I think it was the one. Yeah.
You decided to leave Boavista and get experience on loan at Moreirense. What was it like going from captaining Benfica's B side to playing in the top flight for the first time with Moreirense?
In that time of my career, I thought that I've done everything in the second league, in the B team of Benfica, and my thoughts were in the first league. So it was a great decision for me. I've been there in Moreirense 6 months, I think. Yeah, it was the COVID time as well, and it was certainly one of my best decisions, because I think in that point of my career I needed something more. because I was already, I think, 2.5 or 3 years in the B team, and that was a great step for me.
After a brief loan spell in Moreira de Conegos, you decided to return to Boavista 8 years after leaving for Benfica. What was it like returning to one of your boyhood clubs and actually being able to get professional experience with the Axadrezados?
It was great. It was great. Unfortunately, it was not the best season for the club. We spent all the year fighting for to stay in the first league. It was not the best year, but it was great because I was close to my family again. It is a club that is gonna be in my heart forever. It was the first club in my career. I joined them when I was 5, so it was special for me. In the beginning of the year, we thought that with the players that we had in that year, like Javi Garcia, Angel Gomes, and others, we thought that we could do something more than we actually did. But yeah, it was a great experience for me for sure.
After staving off relegation, you ended up going to Paços de Ferreira on loan. Had quite of a roller coaster year, going from finishing fifth under Pepa. George Simao comes in and not really able to maintain the momentum. Paços fighting relegation early on, and it's Cesar Peixoto who steps in, helps stabilize the team's form with Paços finishing 11th. Talk to me a little bit about this roller coaster of a campaign for you. What did you feel like were the biggest things that you learned and developed mentally as a player? And overall, what did you feel like were the biggest reasons that Peixoto was able to stabilize Passos's form?
I think the biggest secret in that year was that we had players with a lot of quality as well, and the characteristics of the players was to play with the ball in the ground, a supporting football, playing from the back. And I think that when the second coach came in, Cesar, he gave us the right idea, the way that we wanted to play as well. And I think that was the secret. But overall, it was a great year. Since I've joined them, I felt again like we were a family. And I think in football, it's it helps a lot to be able to be in the dressing room and you feel that you could count with the person that is by your side. If you do a mistake, the other one is there to get it back, to bounce back for you. So it was a great year.
You enjoyed a breakthrough campaign at the Capital do Móvel, scoring 5 goals and 2 assists with the Beavers. But what was your favorite goal that you participated in during your time at Passos?
Um, I can say two, because I can say the best goal and then the most emotional goal for me. The best one, I think, it was against Vizela. Um, it was a cross. I was outside of the box, and the ball came to me, and with my first touch, I did a great finishing. That was the best one, and then the most emotional one was against Benfica, uh, that I had the chance to score in Estádio da Luz. Uh, that is a very special club and stadium for me. So I named those two.
You mentioned you idolized Deco growing up. Overall, how would you classify your playing style? And are there any players who you would compare yourself to?
I would say Deco, yeah, and other midfielders as well. I look up to Iniesta. Right now, I think maybe Frankie De Jong. I don't know. I like to have the ball on my feet. I like to play to find spaces, to find my teammates between the lines, to drive. I like to score, to be in the last third as well, assisting. And I consider myself an attacking player. So
If you had to choose your ideal position and formation, what would it be?
um, I don't know. I would say the one that we play over here, 4-3-3, normal one, classic. And I would put myself in one of the two attacking midfielders. So
Paços scored the second fewest goals in the league last season with 29, but were able to finish 9 points clear of relegation thanks to an impressive defensive record. You mentioned that you like playing in that sort of box to box midfield role, a la Frankie De Jong. Do you feel like you became more of a complete player and a better defender during your time at Paços?
yeah, I would say yeah. During the time that I've been on loan in the first league, I learned more about defending because when I was growing up, obviously I was in Benfica, um, and usually Benfica is more dominant in all games. So I was not used to defend so much. But then when I moved to Moreirense and Boavista and Passos, I have to readapt myself to the style of the clubs, and that certainly helped me to grow as a player.
After three loan spells, you decided to walk away from Benfica after 10 years at the club, joining Charlotte FC on a 2-year deal on August 5th. Big decision to leave Portugal and come to the United States. I'm curious, was there any desire for you to come back to Benfica and get a shot? After your impressive spell at Passos, or did you feel like it was just time for a fresh new environment?
I think Benfica has great players. Obviously, when I went out on loan, it was with the motivation to come back stronger. But yeah, in the end, that didn't result so well. So they made their decisions, and I just have to respect it. But yeah, I already said it, and I'm very happy to be here. I think it was the right choice. I wanted to go out of Portugal. I wanted to live a different life. I'm talking about football, of course. To live another football, another country, another league. And now that I'm here and I've played already in the league, I can say I made the right decision.
Why exactly MLS? A lot of people, they see a Portuguese player leaving for a different continent. They might think it's a step backwards. Overall, it seems clear that you're confident it was the right choice. What did you feel was the specific things about the Charlotte FC project that made it the right step for you in at this point in your career at 23 years old?
We're talking about the first year of Charlotte in the league, and if you compare the conditions that we have here, the stadium, the training campus that they are doing right now, you can compare it to the best teams in Portugal. Um, so I think it was the best choice because is a league that is growing year after year, and you can see young players coming to the league as well, with a lot of quality, uh, and I think it's a good step to be able to go to the big leagues in the future.
It has been a hectic first year for Charlotte with Christian Latanzio replacing Miguel Angel Ramirez as manager 3 months into the season. Ultimately, the club missed out on a playoff spot by 6 points. What have these past 2 months been like for you? What has it been like to participate in Charlotte's first ever season?
It is a privilege, honest, to be able to be part of the history of the club, to be able to participate in the first season of the club. It's a privilege, and since I've came here, I felt like day after day we were growing as a team, on and off the pitch, and you could see game after game that we were improving. The results speak for itself. So I think next year we will be stronger for sure.
What do you feel like are the biggest things that you as a team need to work on as you look to bridge that gap and make it to the playoffs for the first time ever?
Uh, I would say we have to be more consistent. Uh, that is very difficult on this league because the quality of the teams, it's almost on the same level, and the first can lose with the last one, with the last on the table. But yeah, I think the consistency of the results that we can have in the games is the main secret, uh, and we're gonna work on that.
2 weeks after making your MLS debut on September 4th, you scored your first MLS goal within 7 minutes of coming off the bench as Charlotte erased an early 2-0 deficit in Chicago before eking out a 3-2 victory via a 96-minute goal from Karol Swiderski. Talk to me a little bit about this match. Where does this rank in terms of the most emotional games that you've been able to play in? And what was going through your mind as you scored this goal?
It's on the list for sure. It was very special, but it was more special because in the end, I could help the team to get a win, and at that time we were still fighting for the playoffs, um, and to be able to win uh, after after be losing to for 2-0, to to score 3 goals after that was massive from us, and for me especially, I could help the team, and that was very special, of course.
You were able to get your first start for the club in the final match of the campaign, playing the full 90 minutes in a 2-0 loss to New York Red Bulls. How important was it for you to wrap up this season with a full 90 minutes under your belt and show the fans what you're capable of?
It was very good as well. Although we lost, was a great game from us. I think we dominate almost all of the game. I'm not sure of the possession that we had, but I think it was like 70 around that. So it was a great game for us, but unfortunately, they went 2 or 3 times to our goal, and they scored 2 goals. But yeah, overall it was very good. I felt very good during the 90 minutes, and I can't wait to be inside of the pitch again next year.
I'm probably one of the only Americans who watches more Primera Liga than MLS, but I'm curious, how would you compare Primera and MLS? What would you say are the biggest differences as well as the biggest similarities?
Um, I think the teams in Portugal uh, go to the pitch thinking about the result that they have to have. So they play more, I don't know, tactical, more compact, and here is just pure entertainment. You can see a lot of transitions, a lot of spaces in the last third, a lot of opportunities to score goals, and it's a fast and physical league.
One major difference between MLS and the Primera is the calendar schedule. Charlotte are now 4 months away from resuming league play. Overall, how challenging is it for you to go 4 months without playing, and how are you looking to take advantage of this break and prepare for 2023?
I will try to keep my shape. I will be back in Portugal soon, and I have a personal trainer that I work already for 4 years. So I will try to keep in shape. Although it's different when you train by yourself and when you are training with your team and practicing all day. But I'm gonna work and try to come back stronger for the off season.
What have been the biggest things that you have missed about Portugal in your first 2 months in the U.S.?
I would say my family, of course, my friends. Um, maybe the food, although the food here is very good as well. And I could use a beach closer because here is like 3 hours away, and in Portugal I'm used to be like 15 minutes away from the beach. So
That's another thing I wanted to ask you about because uh, Portugal is about the size of Indiana, and the United States is 107 times the size of Portugal. What has it been like to adjust to the amount of travel and longer flights in the U.S.?
I mean, I am trying to get used to it because now that I'm here, it's gonna be my daily routine. But yeah, it's different. Portugal, you can go from one side to the other side of the country by car in, I don't know, 6 7 hours, and that's impossible over here. But yeah, it's a completely different world. I would say America in general is one world, and the rest of the countries do the second world. But I'm loving it so far.
Clearly not having any issues with the language barrier, speaking very good English. But I'm curious, have there been any things that you've struggled to adjust to, either in terms of the style of play in MLS as well as social things, things in terms of the U.S. lifestyle versus Portugal?
No, I wouldn't say that. I can speak the basic English and Spanish as well, so I can talk with everyone in the club. So that helped me. And I would say I like it. I like it over here so far. I didn't have much problems with any sort of, I don't know, communication, something like that.
The Carolina Panthers and the Charlotte Hornets have never won a national championship, and the state's other professional sports team, the Carolina Hurricanes, only won a national championship in 2006. Has this been a big motivating factor for you, having the chance to bring home a championship to a city that is not really used to sporting success? Overall, what has it been like for you to build a relationship with the Charlotte fan base?
It is amazing. They are amazing. Um, they are very different from the fans in Portugal. Not saying that they are better or worse, but when you are playing, you can do a mistake, and they are not whistling for you. They are not like shouting for you. They are just there to support you, to sing for you, to make you feel more motivated and ready for the game. And yeah, the championship, it's certainly one of the goals, but we have to look game. We have to think game after game, um, and find that consistency that I was talking about. And in the end, we can see if we are good or not. But game after game, I think that it must be the main focus.
You mentioned those differences. I wanted to ask, what do you feel are the biggest differences between fan culture in the US and Portugal?
So that said, you can concede a goal, you can score a goal, and they are always singing, always doing their party, uh, and that motivates us to keep fighting, to keep running. Uh, and in Portugal, if you concede a goal, the fans might be quiet for a little bit, or might be angry with a certain player or with the team. And here is not like that. They are there for you no matter what.
What have been your favorite things about your new community? Have there been any things that have, perhaps been positive surprises for you in terms of life in a new country?
I would say the people are very kind. Uh, I think over here, I can speak for myself. I'm far away from everyone that I know, and still I can feel that I'm not alone. If I have any problem, everybody is here to help me, to find a solution for me, and that's incredible.
2023 going to be a massive campaign for Charlotte. Overall, are there any individual goals or objectives that you have set for yourself that you want to accomplish over the next few months as well as next season at Charlotte?
Uh, I don't establish any numbers, but I want to help the team as much as I can, doing great performances. And if I can score goals, if I can assist my teammates, I will take that for sure. But the focus is doing great performances and help the team as much as I can.
A lot of Portuguese people, they may not watch that much MLS, but what is one thing that you think would surprise the average Portuguese person in terms of the league, perhaps its style of play or quality? Any things in particular that you think that you think would catch them by surprise?
I think the entertainment that we have over here. Every game, it's a show. It's almost a party. I'm talking about playing home here in Charlotte. Um, it's just you can go to a game, and you are paying for the game and for a party at the same time. It's incredible the atmosphere that we have here, uh, and it's very different from Portugal. If you are used to watch Portuguese football, you know what I'm talking about.
I definitely know what you're talking about. North Carolina, famed for many things, including its seafood and barbecue. You mentioned you've tried some new foods. I'm curious, what has been your favorite new food that you've tried in the United States so far?
I would say the ribs. uh, I would say the barbecue ribs for sure. It is amazing over here. I didn't try so much seafood, because in Portugal we have very good seafood, and I'm a little bit scared of dropping the quality. But I will try for sure. We'll give it a try for sure.
Absolutely. What is overall for you? What do you think is going to be the biggest key for Charlotte in terms of getting to the playoffs and showing that this was not just a shall we say a one season wonder. They are ready to improve and get to the top spots in MLS.
That's what I said. The consistency is the key. Because if we can win a game 4-0, 5-0, and then the next game we lose, and that's what I say. We have to win one game, and the next game we have to be there, focused again, and fighting for the 3 points every game. Um, and obviously we are gonna improve for sure as a team, and the players individuality as well, um, and we are gonna be stronger, trust me.
you have this chance to, build a relationship with these fans and an expansion franchise like Charlotte. Obviously, they are still forming their roots in the community, but I'm curious, what do you feel like have been the biggest characteristics of Charlotte's identity, both on and off the pitch? What makes Charlotte FC Charlotte FC?
I think you can say that the people around here, they are making a family. They are making a family. Both the people that work in the club, with the fans, we are one, and that what makes Charlotte different than the other clubs. Every game home, it's crazy. The people join in a bar. I don't know where, but they are coming to the stadium together, walking, shouting, singing, and it's just amazing the atmosphere that they put in the stadium. For us that are inside the pitch, that help us a lot, and we hope that they are there next year to help us again.
Nuno Santos, ladies and gentlemen, absolute pleasure to be able to speak
My
with you.
pleasure.
Exclusive BTL video. Overall, are there any last messages that you want to leave for Charlotte fans or your friends back in Portugal?
Uh, I want to ask the fans to do a request for them for next year, that they can come to the stadium again like they did this year, and we can be more, game after game, and that they are the 12th player every game. So we are waiting for them.
Nuno Santos, everyone. Thank you so much once again for taking the time
Thank
out of
you.
your day to
Thank you.
be part of this interview. It was an absolute pleasure. Wishing you all the best for the season of 2023 with Charlotte.